Mama, I got bad news, bad news. I've been rolling with some bad dudes, bad dudes. I've been trying to get a bag too,
Hello, listeners. Welcome to the Ashes to Awesome podcast, Rising in Recovery. Our podcast provides light, hope, and understanding about addiction and mental health to those living within that life and the people who love them. This episode is brought to you by Together We Can, where Canada recovers from addiction. That's twcrecoverylife.org. Hello, everybody. Watchers, listeners, supporters of all kinds. Welcome to another episode of the Kaleidoscope Wednesday on the Ashes to Awesome podcast. I'm your host, Chuck LaFLange, and with me in virtual studio on the other side of the world is Ryan Bathgate. How you doing today, Ryan?
Good, which is not really an answer I'd ever accept from anybody else, but, I'm good. I mean, usual, so much going on all the time, man. It's like we missed a week. That's always, it doesn't sit well with me. But
it's disheartening. It really is disheartening. It's hard to, I know it weighs heavily on me, right, when I miss any episode, but our episode specifically, because they're just so, I know it affects you the way that it does, which, of course, there's a reciprocal thing there as well, right? So, it really does bother me. Just with traveling and all that stuff last week, there was a lot going on, right? There was a ton going on, right?
I went on vacation. We missed a week, so it happens.
Yeah,
it's just whenever it does happen, I feel like there's something missing.
Yeah, I got you.
Which is a good thing. It's just like I haven't lost any fire for it. That's for sure.
Yeah. Good.
However,
yeah,
we're really going with a blank slate here because.
Well, fortunately, we got lots of organic conversation to have anyway, right? We haven't really been in touch much ourselves, which is not typical as well, right? Usually we would talk 5 times and record in a week. Well, we've talked for a total of maybe 5 minutes and missed a week. So we got lots of stuff to talk about today, buddy. We do.
What do you want to do here? Do you want me to just pick some stuff apart here? Or?
Yeah, well, let's just see how it goes. I'll start by telling you about how things are going here, and you being the inquisitive mind that you are in the profession that you are, you're going to have some questions about what's going on, I imagine, right? So why don't we just have a conversation and see how that goes, right? So that sounds good to you?
Yeah. Do we got a mailbag today?
No, I haven't. I haven't even addressed that. We probably do somewhere along the lines. And maybe while you're talking, I'll go back and dig up a couple questions, but let's not commit to anything just now. As it stands, I'm officially missing yoga this morning to do this, and
yeah. And
right.
I need you to be back at the Ponderosa before about 50 minutes. So let's mailbag next week. We probably have an overflowing mailbag.
Well, that gives us a great next week, doesn't it? Right. So absolutely.
And so I do want to say for listeners, watchers, supporters, if you sent a question in, we will get to it. Just patience, I guess, is virtue something I'm no good at. That's for sure.
Nor am I, but I think right now it's called for. Right. I mean, I just switched time zones by 12. So there's that. Right, it's a little things are a little hairy. Yeah,
like more than that, isn't it?
Well, it was 12 for me, and then I don't know, no, it's 13 for me. That's right. So and 14 for you. Yeah, right.
Yeah, because you're looking at 8 in the morning there, right?
Yes, sir. It makes it 7 or 5 p.m. there, right? Yeah. So
15 hours difference.
Is it 4 p.m. there now?
No, 5, 12.
5. Oh yeah, okay.
3.
Yeah, 5 plus 3. Okay, never mind. Okay.
I'm a philosophy guy. And I got that.
I'm usually a mathlete, so yeah, there you go. I'm going to blame that on jet lag and time difference again. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah. So anyway, maybe I will blame it on. Maybe I will blame it on things like yoga, which I'm not going to lie, I'm not really upset about missing. I'm upset about not making the commitment, but I'm not upset about missing yoga because that shit is brutally hard. Right? I had no idea. Right? You're more athletic than I am.
No. I used to like yoga in my 20s.
Yeah, let me tell you about it at 46. Right? She's a whole new world, man. Holy fuck.
Yeah, so I did.
The amount, I could not believe it. But my second day into yoga, I got up in the morning and I went out to the instructor and said, I might look like your friend, but I am not your friend right now. You are a fucking sadist. All right? It's exactly what I need in my life, both mentally and physically, and I do appreciate that. And the challenge of it is just one more thing to embrace while I'm here, right? So,
okay, and, I got questions for you.
Fire away. Yeah.
What can you tell me about your experience in the now relative to the unwritten future? The moment that you stepped into the Calgary airport.
At that point, and well, it was Regina Airport. I never went to the Calgary airport, but
sorry, yeah, right,
yeah.
What do I know?
At that point, I was a blank slate. I can honestly say that I was a blank slate about what was about to happen, and I was optimistic about it, but really open mind.
Hold on a second, though.
Yeah,
blank slate, open mind.
Yes.
Do you remember what the question was?
Repeat it for me. Don't do that. You know I hate it when you do that, man.
The question was,
yeah.
In the moment,
yeah,
relative to the unwritten future,
mm-hmm.
How did you feel when you walked into the Calgary doubles cross out Regina Airport? I didn't ask what you thought.
Yeah.
You told me what you thought.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know how I would word that. Happy.
Come
sad. All right. There's definitely some sad in there too. I need my
Do you know how to layer?
Feelings wheel, right? Tell me
how. Do you know how to layer things? What's that?
In theory, but
okay. So let's give it texture.
Okay.
You think what we feel. That's usually as deep as people go.
Yeah.
Then you go under so we go underneath that. So thought is gone. Now there's this feeling, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, happy, and then you layered that into whoa, sad, whoa. Okay, now we're starting to get into it. Now what's under sad?
I don't want to say fear because that's not it.
Why? Why don't you say
it? It wasn't fear.
Here's my thing.
There's some sort of correlation to fear. Curiosity.
So
right?
We're layering. It means trying these on.
Yeah.
So fear, we see fear, and it's like, that doesn't stick, right?
Yeah.
But you said it out loud, which takes it off the table.
Okay.
So it's not fear, but it's it's an anticipation. It's an anxiety
but not anxiety.
Form of
the other side of the joy line. Curiosity. Right?
Excitement. Right?
Yeah, excitement.
So if I go,
for sure.
Okay, so no, walk with me here.
Yeah.
I think I'm blah. Doesn't even matter because what you think you feel is not a real thing.
Okay.
Then you happy, sad, and then excitement.
Yep.
Anything below that? Was there a shift? Was excitement a shift? Did you feel it in your body? There's no 100%. Maybe about it. There's something else underneath there then. You did 100%? No, you didn't.
Feel a shift? I mean,
I didn't feel it.
That shift.
No, right here. As we're talking about it. Because there's another emotion under there that's driving it.
I don't know what that is.
Okay. Let me go with the data.
Okay.
It's usually a socially driven qualifier. It's either shame or deserved.
Okay. Well, deserved. No, I don't feel like that's what it was. I don't. No.
Okay. Well, then what is it?
That anticipation took a week to develop, right? Took 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks to develop. So it was like a culmination of 4 weeks of feeling that thing, right? And it was by far the biggest thing going on. Yeah. Do
you remember me talking about how I identify my feelings in my somatic?
What, through locating? Or
so yeah, okay. So what this is what you look like trying to figure out what your feeling was. Like you're waiting for it to drop from the fucking sky. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And for the listeners, I'm looking up and looking around because that's what he was doing. Now, let's go this way. We're in it. Close our eyes and get loose and shake it out. And so I'm at happy. I'm at sad. I'm at excitement.
I got nothing. You're gonna have to walk me into this one, buddy, because I'm trying. Yeah.
I can't tell you what you feel.
No, of course you can't. But it sounds like you've maybe got some insight as to what the driver might be. Right. You know, and I'm open to some suggestions because I'm having a hard time.
And you know what? Do you know what comes to me when I shut my mind off?
What's that?
Accomplished.
I'll take that. Yeah, I will. All right. Yeah.
That's what pops up at me.
Yeah. And you know what?
So
you're
under,
right,
under that deservingly umbrella.
You're good at your job, my friend. Yeah, without a doubt, right?
So we're shaming that in that entire layer.
There's no shame anymore. That's gone.
Fucking rights gone. There isn't any.
Yeah, right.
What a beautiful thing to be able to live life in a moment as it's happening, and there's no shame to be found anywhere.
Yeah, no, not at all. One of the things that I was feeling was guilt, in a survivor's guilt, kind of irrational way, and I know that it is irrational, but I was feeling that in a really hard way the first couple of days I was here.
Maybe you can help me with something quick. Can you tell me about the emotion that is rational? I've been looking for it.
You're such a dick. I'm going to drink my fancy water and let you laugh at your own joke.
Yeah, your fancy water. Here's the deal, man. Emotions have zero. Human beings, we're not rational. We're weather systems. We're always in constant flux and change. The only thing that's rational is this little part of our brain, prefrontal cortex, right behind here, right behind that. I think I hit my head on it. I don't know if you can see that, but I think I clipped myself with a cupboard or something. I didn't even know it was there. Marina's like, "What did you do to your head?" I was like, "What are you talking about? It's as beautiful as ever."
Well, if your head hurts, I don't want any.
Seeking a path to heal from trauma? Discover Yatra Center in Phuket, Thailand. Yatra specializes in EMDR, eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, a groundbreaking therapy transforming lives globally. Why choose Yatra? Nestled in the tranquility of Phuket, Thailand, Yatra offers both online outpatient services and immersive residential programs. Their expert therapists ensure that traumatic memories are processed, becoming less intense and more manageable. Research-backed and globally recognized, Yatra's EMDR approach doesn't just ease the pain, it targets the very core, facilitating deep healing. Whether you're at home or at their serene center, Yatra paves your way from trauma to tranquility. Don't let the past overshadow your present. Choose Yatra, transform pain into strength, and step into a brighter future. Visit yatracenter.com and embark on your healing journey.
Well, if your head hurts, I don't want any. Lowbrow.
It's wow. I mean, man, to be this manly, you can't have hair. Okay.
Hey, I always say I'm tall enough. I have a bald spot, but that I'm tall enough that by the time you see it, you're pretty committed, right?
Yeah, you've earned something.
Yeah, maybe it's an STI. I don't know. Yeah.
Hey, that's
wow, that devolved quickly. Man. Hey, Jesus Christ!
Oh, well, yeah. Okay. We are in our natural element all of a sudden. So So what I'm getting at here is that it's ridiculous for us always to try and be rational and logical. It's like trying to be English in the 18th century. Like we're not civilized.
The reason that makes me laugh so hard is we have two other clients here, and I have to be very careful what I ever say about anybody. But I can say, one's from the UK and one's from Luxembourg. So like totally different than me, right? There's a
like
level
rational, reasonable.
When somebody thinks a Canadian is not polite, and I'm polite, right? Like my mom, if she did anything right in her life, it was to teach us our fucking manners, right? I will tell your kids to say please and thank you as fast as I would tell my own, right? Like I am a polite Canadian, and these guys think that I'm crazy, right? It's just when you said that, it's like, that is so true.
That's what I mean. Like, we're not meant to be like that. We're meant, if you look at cultures that are more humanistic, you can see it in you can feel it in the connection. Like, I have a good friend of mine from Bolivia, very emotional, really handsy and expressive, and like that is how human beings are. We're not meant to be guidelined and put into boxes. You know,
you make me think of the traffic here when you say that. Right? Yeah.
Well, yeah,
you do.
You know what? Right? Human beings are a lot like Thailand traffic.
Yeah,
just no idea what's going to happen.
Well, I think there might be a meme somewhere in that. Absolutely, right? It is so true, though, man. It's so true. And I kind of get a little bit off topic here, but that's okay. It's my show. The traffic, man, is something like at home, you would be put in jail and you would never see your children again for the shit that happens here. There's like 2 kids under 5 without a helmet zigzagging in and out of traffic with their dad in between them, right? Like it's just fucking nuts, man. It is just total chaos here, right? Thailand, number 1 or 2 in the world every year for road deaths. Underwater.
Probably, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So and my point is like, if we're trying to make emotions rational, we might as well be trying to turn water into wine. Like, it's just not possible. Right. It's not, and it's a fool's errand to try and. As a matter of fact, it creates so much damage to try and be rational that we end up sacrificing relationship. And if we look at like North American, Anglo-Saxon, we don't have emotional intelligence. We don't have a lot of eye contact from our caregivers. We have a lot of structure and discipline and proper and the way things should be and all that. But then you go and like you look at like Hinduism, where they're like touching babies and eye contact and expressive and like beautiful. I'm not a religious guy, but the Hindu religion to me is a beautiful religion.
As is Buddhism. I've learned a little bit about that since I've been here, and I have a lot more to learn. But,
Buddhism's not really a religion.
Yeah, it's more of a philosophy. More
right here.
What am I looking at there? Oh, Buddha.
It's an outline of Buddhism, fundamental Buddhist beliefs, 12 principles of Buddhism. And so I was just actually reading this today, and a Buddha is a man, and Buddha is not a god.
Okay, right.
And so like in Hindu belief, like we believe that God is within all of us. And if you're going to say that, here you're going to get thrown into a padded room, like I am God, but that is the belief. And it's like, it reflects in the language, like, mommy, daddy, how was I made? Like, that's ceramic, we weren't made, you were grown. Mm-hmm. The real question would be, how do I grow? Because we're organic beings. But anyways, I regress. So you head into the airport with a sense of accomplishment. You head into this journey, which is not a short journey by any means.
No, it's an undefined length of a journey, actually. So that's an interesting part of this whole thing, right?
What do you think this thing's all about for you?
Growth. It's about growth. It's logically, and I know logically, feelings, all that. But you did say what I think, not what I feel. When I think about this, I think about, because podcasting is not lucrative, because I make zero fucking money, if you want the truth, right? I make less than zero, technically. This is an opportunity to continue doing what you're doing, what we're doing, but in a sustainable way because of the cost of living here, right? And so I think about, once I've been through 30 days at the Yatra Center, I know I will be a different person. I can tell you that after less than a week, everything has changed. And I can only imagine what it looks like after a month. I can only begin to. I don't want to imagine it. I want to experience it, and I want to get there. So I think about, okay, if I'm that much more of a fulfilled human being after a month, and I'm in a place where I can do this in a sustainable way, how many more people can we help? How better can I serve mankind, our people, my people, by doing what I'm doing? And I fucking love that feeling. 100% I do. Right? So, yeah.
In 1 week, everything has changed. Name one.
The sense of freedom that I both experienced by addressing just one of my big T traumas, and knowing that I can experience freedom from all of them is huge for me. Is just, the thought is overwhelming. But when I well up right now, it's not about the traumas. It's about that sense of relief that I know I get now. And it is fucking amazing. Right?
It's because the trauma doesn't get fixed. It gets integrated.
Yes. Right. And funny enough, after my first EMDR, or before my first EMDR therapy session yesterday with Mike Miller, he was very clear in saying, we are not taking memories and turning them into happy ones. We are taking memories and turning them into manageable ones. And wow, I got to tell you about EMDR, and maybe you have some different opinions. Whatever. All I can speak to is my own experience.
No, I'm a fan.
I talked to you about this beforehand, but I'll say it for the LWS, the listeners, watchers, supporters, that when I was done, I looked at Mike, that first session, I looked at Mike and said, fuck you. The absolute shift in how I was processing that particular big T trauma was overwhelming in such a positive way, right? The shit works, right? It works. And at no point did I have to describe that trauma in any way. I had to visualize it, and I had to name it. That was it. But I did not have to describe it, because I can tell you that by writing it down just as a name to it, that was so hard for me to do. Going into the session knowing that I was about to do something with, I didn't know what at the time, that I was going to do something with that trauma, was fucking hard. And I know I'm F-bombing a lot. For some reason, I'm doing that a lot lately. I don't know. I got to stop that. Anyway, coming out of that session and feeling the way I felt about it was like, yeah, right. Mike says to me, nobody's ever looked at me and said, fuck you before. Well, you've never had me here. So
yeah, first ever polite
here
Canadian.
I am. Right.
Hey, Ashes to awesome listeners. The following PSA is brought to you by The Phoenix. The Phoenix is not just a gym. It's a community where the real weight lifted is not just barbells, but hearts, minds, and spirits. Whether you're in recovery or simply choose to live a sober lifestyle, The Phoenix offers a range of activities from yoga to hiking, all led by people who've walked a path of transformation. So why not aim higher with The Phoenix? Your first membership requirement is just 48 hours of sobriety. Rise from the ashes today and soar with The Phoenix. Hey listeners, let's take a moment to talk about something crucial. Carrying naloxone. This life-saving medication can reverse an opioid overdose in minutes. You might think, I don't need it, I'm not around opioids, but the truth is you'll never know when you'll be in a situation where you could save a life. It's easy to use, and many places offer it for free or at a low cost. So let's be prepared and look out for each other. Remember, you might not plan on being around opioid use, but you never know when it'll be around you, and you could save the life of somebody that is loved. This is Jared Blaine with the Blacklist Podcast, and remember, you are loved.
I am, right?
Okay, I want to ask you two more questions.
Yeah. Fire away.
You said you experienced freedom. Explain that from a choice theory perspective. How did you make choice and get freedom from it?
With the help of that session, I was able to choose, and that's actually a big part of the MDR.
I know.
Right? Is choosing how you view that. Maybe more on a more subconscious level, and into the mechanics of EMDR, I'm not going to sit here and profess to be an expert. But that's, if I sit back now and think about that session, that's what it was all about. It was all about giving my brain a way to choose another way to process it, and to take the power away from both the person that committed that trauma against me and the memory itself, and choosing to say, you know what, fuck you, man, right? And it was great. It was absolutely great.
Or thank you.
Yes. Yeah.
Instead of fuck you. No, hold on.
I don't think I'm there yet. I think I can get there, but I'm not at a thank you for the trauma yet.
You're definitely at a place to give yourself permission to.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
And trust the process.
I got a lot of work to do, but everything about this place, man, everything about it is conducive to peace and tranquility and like just relaxing about everything and the Buddhism stuff, the yoga, the fucking ice bath. Oh.
So what I just proposed to you was a Buddhist theory.
Okay.
Now I'm going to switch it, and I'm going to ask you what responsibility you embodied in order to get that freedom from. That's the existential premise or lens.
What responsibility? I'm not sure. You need to unpack that question a bit more for me.
Responsibility and freedom are the same thing. You access some form of personal responsibility in order to access that form of existential freedom.
Okay.
What was the responsibility?
To not take that trauma into relationships with other people. Relationships of all kinds, not romantic, but including romantic maybe. That's what comes when you say responsibility. That's kind of what comes to me. But
yeah, but I'm not talking about tomorrow.
Okay.
Freedom is a feeling. If it's a feeling, it means it's in the now.
Okay.
You make it into tomorrow. Now it's a thought about a feeling.
Okay.
So in the now, you acted responsible in some way to experience a freedom associated to that as it was happening.
When you say responsible, though, I think immediately that's an existential. That's a something to the outside of me. If I'm going to be not necessarily, I suppose.
No,
that's the way I process that when you say it. So I'm having a hard time.
You were accountable to your own truth.
Yes.
Accountability is a form of responsibility.
Okay, that makes more sense to me. Yeah.
You use the value of courage to confront that responsibility and embody it. And from that, you made a commitment to the process. You could have bullshitted your way through it. Could have lied to yourself. You could have lied to Mike. You could have just not wanted to do it. All of those things would be irresponsible, therefore reinforcing your own self-made oppression.
Yes.
But by showing up, to show up is to be responsible.
Yeah.
And the freedom associated to it, you are living in right now.
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
I got to have 30 episodes on this philosophically. And now we have we have the opportunity to give it real life texture. That what I'm saying isn't just this theory thought up years ago.
Yeah.
It is actually applicable in any moment in any given day of our daily lives.
100%. It's funny, man. As I'm sitting here, and I don't want to be that, because you've always got that guy in any sort of class and anything you do, and there's always that guy who, I know because, right? Or, I know, and I hate it when somebody says, I know. It's like, if you knew, I wouldn't be taking the goddamn time to explain it to you. So shut up.
If you knew, you wouldn't be paying me money to talk to me. Not you.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
My favorite answer is I don't know. My least favorite answer is I know.
Right. So,
yeah.
But as I'm sitting here in group, as I'm sitting here with Justin, who is a mindfulness and yoga and extremely knowledgeable and enlightened individual, just one of the instructors here, Mike Miller. We know how I feel about Mike Miller. One of my favorite human beings. As I'm listening to them, there's so much of what you and I talk about. And I'm like, yeah, but okay, no, I'm going to shut up. I'm just going to take this in, and I'm not going to be that guy, right? But quite often I want to be that guy, and I want to, but it's this is about me receiving, not about me giving. So I'm just going to like take it in and, for all it's worth. But it's funny because quite often I do feel the urge to quote something you have said, which I wouldn't quote it. I would do it, in a way that would bastardize it, as I tend to do sometimes. But right,
yeah.
But it's funny because there's so many parallels to the things we talk about, and being able to experience it this way with that underlying knowledge. I'll use the word knowledge loosely. Is something else, man. It really is, right? So yeah.
Yes, it's $50 word. It's an epistemological process.
All right, fucking pack. Where's my cash register sound, for fuck's sakes? Okay, what do you got now? That means
epistemology is the study of how we get knowledge from.
Okay.
So, from an epistemological perspective, you gain knowledge through both Siddharthian or Buddhist choice theory and existential.
Okay,
Siddharthian. Siddhartha was the original Buddha.
Oh, okay.
There's a story about him. It's like 3,000 years old. I have the book here somewhere.
Okay,
anyway,
well, you always have the book here somewhere, by the way.
Yeah, it's a little
I
one.
often wonder if you have like this stack of books that you might need to reference in an episode, right? Because you're always just like an arm's length away from the book you need. It's funny, right?
I have. Yeah, I like books. Look at them all.
I know. I see them. And whereas I'm more like the South at the end of the Civil War. We still don't have to read no books, right? So, right? or in my case, quite often, I still don't have to wear pants. Because here's the thing. You never know if I'm wearing pants. So, yeah. There's that.
Or care.
I often thought about doing a segment on the Weekend Ramble called Pants or No Pants. Right?
Yeah. And you won't find out till you stand up at the end and walk away.
Right. Make it a prize situation, like a game for the viewers, right? The LSWs, right? Yeah. LWSs, I suppose.
Yeah.
Okay,
so let me ask you another question then.
The following is a national emergency.
A new study out shows there may be gross underreporting of opioid-related deaths.
Meaning this opioid crisis, overdose deaths have been caused by a toxic supply of street drugs.
Devastating effects on families and communities across this country.
One Canadian dies approximately every 53 minutes to overdose. That's 27 deaths every day and 837 deaths each month. That makes 405% more deaths to overdose than car accidents in 2022. Are you listening now? So who does this affect? Everyone from pro athletes to celebrities to business people and kids. This crisis affects us all, with 77% of overdoses happening in people's homes. So how did we get here?
These drugs were designed to ease pain, but their overuse has caused hundreds of thousands of Canadians to become addicted.
Most addictions begin with prescription opiates, but later shift to unregulated substances like heroin and fentanyl due to availability and cost. This is a huge problem.
The vast majority of overdose deaths are caused by a toxic street drug supply.
The National Overdose Response Service is a 24-hour phone line providing anonymous support for substance users. NORS will co-create safety plans, dispatch EMS, or contact someone to administer naloxone without involving EMS. Please don't use alone. If using in the USA, please call Never Use Alone and download the Brave app.
Yeah.
Who's Chuck today?
Who's Chuck today? Shit, I don't know. It's still too early in the day to tell you, man. It could go any one of a bunch of ways, but Chuck is pretty happy. And I know that's a feeling, not a who, but I'm in a pretty great place. That's what I am. Yeah. And
okay,
I'm so tempted to talk about myself in third person right now. I'm not going to lie, but I'm not going to do it.
So my name's Chuck, and I am in a great place.
Yeah, I am.
That's who you
literally
are?
and figuratively. Yeah.
That's not enough.
Well, shit, man. I'm not sure what you want from me right now.
What I want Okay, well, I'll tell you. I'll just tell you right now.
Yeah, yeah.
What are your values?
There we go. Authenticity is, I don't even know if that's a value, but it's certainly something I'm striving to be authentic.
Here's now I got to get involved with this. We can never try to be authentic. Authenticity is a byproduct.
Either are or you aren't.
Well, no, it's a byproduct of being transparent, honest, integral, all these other values. It's like if you try to be authentic, you're going to come across as completely inauthentic.
And we've talked about other.
Yeah. So, your values.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been over this a million times.
Honesty is right at the top of it.
Honesty.
Integral,
Yeah.
in general, integrity, right?
Yeah.
Courage is, that for me, that's huge, man. That's huge for me, right? One of the other things that we've discussed is attachment styles, which I'm sure you're more than familiar with.
Very.
And I figured it out right away was me and my avoidance, right? Fearful avoidance. So courage is like a really big deal for me. Yeah.
Massive. And it shows up all the time for you, and I don't think you know it. You walked into the airport in Regina.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, enough said. Going to a foreign land you've never been to do a bunch of stuff you've never done before without any idea how it's going to go.
Yeah.
Fear is a lack of information. Curiosity is a lack of information. It takes courage to make the choice to choose curiosity over fear. Now, I'm going to ask you one more time, who is Chuck today?
If you say who is Chuck today. Fuck. I don't know why this question's bugging me so much, but it is.
You just answered it.
Chuck is courageous. Chuck is integral.
Honest.
Honest. Generous in that, and I don't know if that's the right word.
Sure, why not?
I want to help so many people.
Altruistic.
Right? Altruistic. There we go. Right. I want to take these experiences and share them with the world and bring people in to understand that, fuck, it is so much better, right? It is so much better than letting your traumas ruin your life. It is so much better than using substances instead of therapy to cope. It is so much fucking better. All of it is, and I just I want people to understand,
Chuck.
Yeah.
8:31 a.m. is the day that Chuck was introduced to Chuck. You will never, ever have to not know who you are ever again.
Right? Yeah, man. Yeah. It's a big deal.
It is a big deal.
It's a big deal. Yeah. Yeah.
And then, I always like Alan Watts to think, we're going to feel lost at times. Here's what I do with feeling lost. I don't know where the Milky Way is. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's past it. And we're in the Milky Way. So we're all fucking lost. Nobody knows where we are. You know what I mean?
True story. Yeah, true story. True story. Yeah.
I don't mind being lost. I just hate being alone and lost.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when I think about it that way, I'm like, whatever. We're all lost.
Yeah.
But I always, as long as I know my values, I'll always know who I am.
Yeah. 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 Right. True story. True story, man.
Yeah, I hope that
something
makes
else. That's
sense
the whole.
to you.
Can you imagine after 28 days, after 30 days of this, what it's gonna like? It's gonna be crazy, man. It's gonna be just nuts, and I'm so looking forward to the whole damn thing.
I do know what it's like to actualize.
Explain that.
To become who I am. To to quote a really old episode, fuck the noise and know it's important.
Yeah, right.
And to live with conviction and live with intention.
Yeah.
And I actually kind of stole that from a Mike McDaniel.
I think
quote, who's the head coach of the Miami Dolphins.
Get your phone off the desk. Sorry, I can hear that like so loud.
Yeah.
What's going on, buddy?
Oh, just the wife.
We got to make it a short episode. We got to make it a short. Nobody's going to complain, right? We showed up. We got done what we had to do, and that's okay, right? So.
Yeah, I'm just saying, being home. I'll be home at 5:50. Okay, she has an appointment at 6, so I have to be home.
Okay, so I'll edit that part out where I said we could make it a short episode, and instead I'll say, dude, we need to get this done. So that way you can blame me. See what I did there for you? Right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Like if you think about like how monumental that moment is, that you realize that who you are is okay. And I always say, in all my faults and glory, I will be loved the same.
Yeah.
And I will reciprocate that love in anyone else's faults and glory. It keeps me in the human realm of relationship. That means that we all got our things, like none of us are perfect. But the reality is just like, as long as I am, to quote Viktor Frankl, in love and of love, I will always live in fulfillment. I will always live in this stream of human connection that is evolutionary. It changes everything. And that will become so attractive to other people, which it has, for me in my experience. And like, all I ever wanted to do is just be a better person. Like when I put down, the hustle and the game and all that crap, stopped chasing the material and focused on being a better person, everything changed for me.
Yeah.
And I read that thing by Brene Brown about your values are your identity. And I was like, thank God. Because that's who I want to be. I want to be honest. I want to be integral. I want to make sure my family's first. I want to be courageous, and I get to be that. And I don't even have to be all of them all the time.
Yeah.
I just have to try. And that fallible part is when I fall out of my values. Like, and it's going to happen. It happens all the time.
Fair enough.
Like, like integrity, for example. I'll be home at 5:30. Oops.
Now you're in shit. Right. Yeah. So why don't we then let's not mess with the family life, right? You got to get home. We're not done. We still need a few more minutes. Why don't we move on to daily gratitudes? Call this an episode.
Yeah.
We can feel good that we got this done.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And next week we'll do better. We'll come at it with more prepared, all the things we need to, and we'll let people off the hook with a short one. They don't have to listen to the whole damn thing, right? So that makes sense.
Okay, you know what? I'll probably have some stuff rolling around in my head a little bit. I know there's a whole bunch of stuff that I had wanted to talk about, but I just got so overthrown by demands of work and life and everything, and missing a week, and I just couldn't.
And if nothing else, buddy, for the next 30 days, we got content. We got our organic content ready to go, right? Look at what we did to it today, right?
Well, and we did. You know what? Learning how to layer, that's an important skill. Like, learning about who we are is an important thing to know. Like, knowing that our values are directly correlated to our identity, that's an important thing to know.
Yeah,
knowing that I don't ever have to worry about who I am, because I know what my values are. Like, it's just such a beautiful.
Brings us to my favorite part of the show, and that is the daily gratitudes.
Today's Daily Gratitudes are brought to you by Revolution Recovery, helping men recover and become their best selves through support and treatment. They've been there, and they understand.
What you got for us today, Ryan?
Well, my beautiful wife and children every time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm also... I'm so grateful to have a place to put all this crap that goes on in my head, because for the last 2 weeks... it's just been like, nowhere to go with it, and so like, and more so, I'm really grateful that you asked me to do this once, and I'm grateful that was good enough that you asked me to do it however many more times.
We've done a lot now. I'm actually curious to know how many episodes we got under our belt.
Gotta be 30 or something.
Well, more than that.
Yeah, I don't
know. No, yeah, probably around 30. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. So yeah, and. Yeah, I think I'm just grateful to have so many awesome people that have come in and out of my life. And here's what I'll say: like, if I was gonna pass anything on to anybody, love them while you got them. That's all I can say. Like Love is hard, and
it's a big one.
As intentional as you can while you have them, because we never know. We never know how the world's going to turn the next day.
I made a meme yesterday that said, something you will never hear: a parent who has lost their child to addiction wish they had put less effort into connection. You are loved. You can't use it enough, right? Like, you just can't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. For myself, man, the gratitudes are endless. I have this sense of gratitude that is overwhelming and hard to put into words. And it dates, you know what? It dates right back to that time we did the Once. I met Mike Miller through you. You know what I mean? Like that starts an emergence that gets me to where I am now, right? Which is just fucking amazing, man. Look at the opportunity I have. It is beyond words. It really is.
I agree. So I think we have some reciprocal gratitude for one another.
Yeah, we do. I am grateful for fancy smancy water in my fucking fridge that the housekeeping and laundry ninjas do. It's crazy, man. Like, I'll leave the room for 5 minutes and I come back. Where the fuck is my laundry? Oh, it's in the closet, right? Like, I didn't even know it was gone, right? And it's all hung up in the closet. And my room is clean and there's fucking fresh water in my fridge. And Jesus, life is good, man. I am thankful for fancy schmancy water and house cleaning ninjas.
Laundry gnomes.
It's like, I'm telling you, man. I walked in last night and went, shit, forgot to put my laundry out. Oh, I forgot to put it out, but somebody forgot or remembered to take it and wash, dry, hang it, put it back in my closet. Like, what the hell, man? Like, usually it's shit just lays at the foot of my bed. It's pretty awesome, right? Anyway, I'm also grateful to all of the LWSs, listeners, watchers, and supporters. All of you have helped me get here. There's still, I'm way short of my goal on the GoFundMe, and things are going to get a little tight here in a couple of weeks as I try to find my own place and get settled in here in Thailand. So, you know, if you've got anything else to give, please do. I really do appreciate every single dollar, as much as I hate to ask for them. And every time you like, comment, share, smash that subscribe button, please. That I think I'm doing it right. I always point at the wrong place on the screen, so it's just like whatever it is down there, please do that. Every time you do any one of these things, you're getting me a little bit closer to living my best life. My best life is to make a humble living spreading a message. The message is this:
if you are suffering an addiction right now, today could be the day. Today could be the day that you start a lifelong journey. Reach out to a friend, reach out to a family member, call into detox, go to a meeting. I don't care what you do, just get that journey started, because it is so much better than the alternative. And if you have the loved one of somebody who's suffering an addiction right now, you're just taking the time to listen to this episode. If you could just take 1 more minute out of your day and text that person, let them know they are loved. Use the words.
You are loved.
That little glimmer of hope just might be the thing that brings them back.
My body's getting cold, my life is running low. Feel me falling, my life is running out. I pray I make it now, but if I don't, it will be okay. I'll find you another day, and I'm not scared to go. It will be okay. I'll find you another way, and I'm not scared to go, because when I die, I'll be happier in another life. I'll be a